Hey, JMC 6000 here, and before me, I have the new 2024 Buick Envista Sportback. Yes, I'm calling it the Sportback because that's exactly what it is. But let me kind of give you a walk around real quick of this new Buick Envista. Right now, this Buick I have on loan from Becker Buick over in Spokane. But this is the ocean blue metallic color, pretty color. What we have on the front is the new Buick symbol for the Envista, and just to let you know, this Buick actually shares on the same platform. It's basically a Buick version, as some people call it. It's a Chevy Trax in a tuxedo. But anyway, Buick Envista, we have full LED daytime running lights. The LED turn signals are in these as well. We have LED low and high beams with some fake vents going on. We got some nice chrome over the front here. Pretty good looking front end. I have to admit, I really do like the way this front end looks. It's attractive, it's nice, and I think this front end on the Envista looks better than the front end on the new Encore GX. But anyway, nice looking front end on the side here. Again, I'll kind of get to the Sportback attributes of this car, but what we have here is 17-inch rims on the preferred trim, Continental Pro Contact tires on here, in this beautiful ocean blue color. And then this is what I mean by the Sportback. Look at this. It has a nice sweeping back end to it. It almost looks like a kind of like a jacked up sedan. I'm trying to remember, there was a Honda vehicle that had this same type of kind of design way back in the day. Oh, the Honda Accord Cross Tour. Anyway, so in the back here we have LED running lights. I believe we have an LED backup as well, and I believe these are incandescent for the turn signal and the brake light, which are down there. Let me open this up real quick. This is the Sportback kind of design here. We have a full-size spare. I'm sorry, that is a donut, but at least it's a spare tire. So we have a spare tire, not a full size, but a donut. Rear view camera. These are the two lights for the license plate. Again, Sportback design. This doesn't have a rear wiper. So Buick's design philosophy is, as you're going down the road, if rain accumulates off here, as the wind comes over the vehicle, it'll wipe the rain away or wipe the water away. Rear brake light LED, shark fin antenna on top. Let's go inside. Come join me into the back end in the second row. As you can see, I have pretty good room in here. I'm sitting behind myself. I'm about 5'10". As you can see, I got plenty of knee room. Not much amenities back here. This particular trim has like a cloth and a vinyl kind of design to it. There's no center armrest way down. You do have 2 USB ports, but no air vents, nothing, anything like that. But I do like the flat load floor. My children comment on that. There is plenty of room back here. Only one map pocket. You don't get one on this side. So, and then the door panel is kind of soft to the touch where your arm goes, but everything else is all hard plastic. All right, go ahead and let's go ahead and look at the window sticker. And what we have here is the Buick Envista Preferred trim. Again, I'll call it the Sportback because that's primarily what it is. And then with everything that we see here, it's $25,285. This thing is cheaper than my Maverick. Again, it's only front-wheel drive. You cannot get all-wheel drive, so that may be a deterrent for some. But for what you get, it's a pretty good value for actually what the price is and everything you see here. So I'm going to go into the driving portion, and then I'm going to give my final thoughts, and we're going to go over the interior up front as well. Awesome. All right, here in the driving portion of this Buick Envista Sportback Preferred trim. And what I wanted to do in this driving portion is kind of go over my thoughts about how it drives and everything, my kind of fuel economy that I've been getting as well. On the highway, I've been averaging right in the round of 31, 32 miles to the gallon. Almost basically just hitting the EPA number, so nothing to write home about. I've been in other 3-cylinder equipped vehicles that get much better fuel mileage than this thing does. So it's kind of the detractor of this particular vehicle. I mean, it's a great value proposition. Also, one of the things I noticed while I'm on the highway is the sound of the tires themselves can be a little intrusive in the cabin. If you can't hear that, sorry, my camera is at a weird angle, but you can hear the sound of the tires can be a little bit intrusive as you're going. I'm averaging right around 75 miles an hour. Got the cruise control set to. Also, the powertrain, as I'm driving on the highway, the powertrain, there's not a lot in reserve. I mean, it has good mid-range punch. The down low, it's okay until it gets spooled up. But I will say the 1.2 has good mid-range, but man, there's not a lot up top, and there's not a lot down low. So the power, the usable power of this engine is very narrow. If you get in a sweet spot, pretty much in the mid-range of the power band, it actually works pretty well. But it's very narrow, the power band that you can really use, or at least get some good, decent punch out of this engine. As others have commented, the 0 to 60 is a little over 9 seconds. So it's definitely not the speed demon or the fastest in the world, but it's decent for what it is. So other things to remark about the highway driving right here, the steering is nice and light. There's no feedback at all, but again, the steering is nice and light. I wouldn't expect any feedback. The 6-speed transmission is all right. It seems like the gears are decently spaced, but there is a weird hesitation between some of the shifts. It's almost like it falls off a cliff and then it shifts, and then it, like, the power comes back on. I can't stand when transmissions do that. I know it's torque management that does that, but it's so weird when you're trying to go up on the highway and you mash the pedal and then it shifts and it's like, it's like almost like an on and off switch. So it could be a little bit smoother in its torque management. And sometimes I have this weird, I don't know if I would call it hesitation, but this weird delay as I'm cruising with the cruise control on. It almost feels like it's like a blip, almost like the throttle is blipped and I don't have my foot on the pedal and I haven't adjusted the cruise control, and it feels like ever so slightly the throttle blips. So I'm not quite sure what that's about. But other than that, it drives just fine. It's smooth, pretty comfortable. These seats are pretty nice. I heard these seats are a lot more comfortable compared to the Trax. So I would take these seats over the Trax seats any day of the week. But anyway, so that's kind of the driving portion that I have. We'll get into my final thoughts and my 3 highs and lows that I have on this particular Buick Envista 2024. Thank you. All right, now we're inside the Buick Envista Sportback. Anyway, what I want to go over inside here is kind of go over my likes and dislikes, kind of give my final thoughts on this car, but also kind of touch base on the interior. The interior of this thing in the preferred trim. Again, this car, when we went over the window stickers, $25,000. And some dealers are actually taking a price break on this vehicle. To the dealer I received this vehicle from is actually offering this same vehicle for $24,000. So pretty good deal. Kind of things. Let me go over a couple things in this interior. Right now we have this faux leather stitching, but it's actually a nice soft padding on the top of the dash here. I was told that Buick is trying to mimic a fine purse with this texture. I don't know if it mimics a purse, but it's definitely an interesting texture they have on here. The same texture is on the door panels. Somewhat soft. The rest of the door panel is all hard plastic, but it's, as you can see there, with some stitching. And then right here, you have some black stitching. Somewhat soft right there. You have a traditional 6-speed automatic. And then you got the, I believe this screen is 10 inches, if I remember correctly, maybe 11 inches, I'm not sure, but then you have one in front of me as well. So let's go over my likes and dislikes about this vehicle. I have to say, let's go over my 3 likes, my 3 highs. Number 1, has to be, for what you get for the money, it's a good value. You have this nice, enormous screen. Some people may not like it because it kind of jets out of the dash, but it's really nice. You have heated steering wheel in this vehicle for 25 grand. You get heated steering wheel, you get heated seats. You have, you know, some other different amenities. You have power door locks, windows, all that. I mean, you do get a lot for the money that you can't even get on a $25,000 Maverick, just saying. So the screen size, the amenities, the heated steering wheel, heated seats, this is very good for the price. And then also it's on a bottom of the basement interior. That's my second like. The interior itself is not bottom of the basement. So if you want something a little bit sportier or nicer, and it's about the same price as a Chevy Trax, if not maybe a grand more, get the Envista. It's basically the same vehicle, but with a much nicer interior, and I think a much nicer exterior, if I'm not mistaken, if I do say so myself. Better than the what the Trax looks like, to be honest with you. And then my third like, I think my first and two likes are kind of rolled together. My third like has to be the way the outside looks. I absolutely love the way the outside looks. I think it looks great. The design of it looks good. I mean, it really does, really looks amazing for the price and the value and everything else. It looks like you're driving more of a premium car, even though this is kind of more of an economy car, even though it's supposed to be an entry-level premium. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so let's go over my few dislikes about this vehicle, and there are a few. Number one has to be the powertrain. It's only a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder coupled with a 6-speed automatic. What I don't like about the powertrain is it is punchy. It's great. It doesn't get the best fuel mileage. In fact, I've been averaging about 29.5. That's a mixture of city and highway. I mean, it's getting what the EPA is saying, but I think with that small of an engine, you would expect higher fuel mileage. Just saying. I mean, if other companies can do it with their 3-cylinders and small 4-cylinders, why can't GM with their smallish 1.2 liter 4-cylinder? Number two dislike I have, so I do like the screen and everything, but number two dislike is there's no customization in it. Now, I can put different things in this screen, but this screen in front of me, the driver's screen, it's very basic. I don't have a tachometer, have no way to really get a tachometer, or if there is, I don't know how to bring it up. It's kind of basic in how it is and how it works. You can put different things up in this screen, and I haven't figured out how to reset the average fuel economy. I can reset the best, but I don't know how to reset the average, which is weird. So anyway, some different things about the screens are okay, and I really don't like how it squishes. Let me bring it up here. Android Auto is very squished because you have this border, you have that border. So they confine Android Auto into this squished little area. My icons are very small. So I'm just like, I don't know. And then if I full screen my map, if I can, come on now. Let's just, can I full screen my map? Oh, you know what? Let's do this. There we go. So that's what my map looks like full screen. And what my issue is, it's kind of squished. And you have all this unused real estate, like this whole back part is not used, this part isn't used, this whole center part isn't used, over here is not used. It's like they could have made this a little bit bigger and made it not look as so squished. That's one of my biggest things. All right. And then finally, another load that I have is, and I showed this in the driving section, is it's a little bit noisy on road. And I know it's an economy car, well, an entry-level premium crossover or sportback vehicle, but one of the things I noticed while I was driving was it is kind of noisy on the road. So anyway, but other than that, it drives just fine. It works well. If you need an entry-level vehicle under 30 grand, and you don't mind that it's only front-wheel drive, I mean, if you put good snow tires on this, you'll do fine in the snow. And I don't know what the ground clearance of this thing is. I think it's right about 7.2 or 7.5 inches, so it's decent ground clearance for what it is. But if you don't mind that it's only front-wheel drive, this is a great entry vehicle. Could it get better gas mileage? Yes. Are there better vehicles out there for a little bit more money? Yes. But for what this is, it's not that bad. It's a Speed Demon. The 3-cylinder can be a little rough at times. But other than that, it's actually a pretty decent vehicle. I've been impressed. In fact, I would recommend this over its platform mate, the Chevy Trax, because the interior is a lot nicer in here versus what you have in the Trax. Oh yeah, and the exterior is a lot nicer looking than what you have in the Trax. If you're a diehard Chevy guy and if you want the look of a shrunken down, weirdly shaped Blazer, sure, grab the Trax, but I'd say grab this instead, especially the preferred trim. I think you get quite a bit of you know, luxury and not luxury, sorry, premium touches in this preferred trim of the Envista. Well, thank you for joining me. This might have been my review of the Buick 2024 Envista Sportback, as you can tell. And if you have any questions, comments, maybe you bought one of these vehicles and you want to chime in, just let me know. Hit me up in the comments section and I'll be sure to look at those. Again, thank you for tuning in. You guys be blessed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I upload every single Wednesday morning. And also, I try to go on live on Saturday evenings as well. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day.